Hi everyone, this is me again. In this occasion, I have just gotten the how can I say the solution to what might be the problem that we were facing, and it is that we need to make the bind param and to make it with how can I say it with the columns here, as you can see. As I was even trying to tell you before, let's just try to do it with patience, okay? Let's just put on here uh, sorry, the column here, column. It is not column, it's comma. It is column? Yes, it is column. But not double column, but column. This is the simple column, okay? And after that, also we have to put the parameters that are gonna be inserted, just like this, and um, we're gonna make the STMT here, just like this, bind param, just like it is here. And let's just try to see what is the error itself. Let's just copy this. Being honest, it doesn't have sense because we are just making something that is normal. I mean, but it is still having error. Apparently, maybe it's the closing of this. Let's see. Mm, this is closing here, and it closes here. It's supposed to close here, yes. And we have the column, the semicolon here. Well, it says undefined method bind param. That is weird. But let's just continue. Let's just put, for example, because I know that that method exists, okay? Let's just put on here this. And this is not an int. This is a string. And we are supposed to put like this, str, okay? Just the same happens down there. And by the way, we can put um, the the variable itself. Let's just copy this thrice. Let's remove this, and let's go down, question verses, and this is going to be input verse, and let's go to input verse paragraph, sorry, input verse paragraph, and this is going to be question paragraph. Now let's just look for why. Um, oh, I know what is happening. You see here, this execute, we can just erase everything that is on, not erase it, we're gonna place it just right here. And we're gonna just erase this, okay? This one, because actually this one is not needed. Because down there, we're making the execute and it's just the same thing. So it's not needed. Let's just make this. And as you can see, the error has just removed. We don't have the error anymore. Oh, yes, it is there again. But that is weird. Let's just close the editor and open it again. Code, and let's see if the error still appear. And if it still appear, it means that we have to check, let's say, something very weird. But as you can see, it doesn't appear anymore. I mean, at least I don't see it. Yet I don't see it, and yet I don't see it. And yes, So let's test this. Now let's go and refresh, continue. What is this? No, mere input. Where is it's still saying the same thing. Let's say what is the line 46? Question title, input question. Yes, there we go. Being honest, this is not supposed to give so many troubles, but um, as I said before, that is how web development usually is. It is very unpredictable sometimes. We can use this way that this man is saying here. They execute and use an array. But I will tell you the truth. This is not secure because it is not the standard way. Okay. So let's use the intelligence and we're gonna go to this error. We're gonna look for that error on internet. Let's use our extension. Let's go to Google, sorry, and we're gonna go to this error and let's see what is the problem itself. Oh my god, and this is too much. This is not exactly what I need. Let's just remove the number because the number sometimes makes it more complicated than what it is. Um, when we find a method, let's remove the simple columns and let's just call the final method by param. And let's see, get instance, prepare. Mhm. No, that is kind of the answer, but being honest, it's not exactly what I'm expecting to. Mm. It's to see this 2122. Um, your query. Mhm. No. Being honest, this can be the answer, but as I said before, this is not exactly as it is supposed to be. I like the things as simple as possible and also as normal as possible. I don't like something when I see that is going further than something that I know that was normal. So you see, for example, this bind param s here, username and hash, and by the way, this is just to the to the password, but we are not in that right now. Oh my god. So let's just look directly this. Let's just solve it in a fast way. Insert a statement with bind param in PHP. And that's it. This is going to be our solution. Oh, and I'm sorry that you don't see me on the camera. I forgot that. Let's you see this side point? Let's go to side point. I like side point in a certain way. Let's go here. And no, they don't. Uh, well, they have it. They have it in certain way, but they have it with the array. Let's see if they have it here with the no. They don't have it with bind param. Um, S means that a variable is a string. D means that it's a float, and E means that it's an int. I will tell you the truth. I knew that. Okay? If you were expecting that I didn't know it, I knew it. But that is your decision. As I said before, that is not the most secured way. I don't like to use just one statement to insert um, multiple things. That is not, for me, that is not secure. Let's see. Oh my goodness, let's see what it is, what it is, what it is. Okay. Um, let's just, you see, for example, this bind param with underscore. Maybe this, that is what we have to do. Instead of bind param with camel case, we should use it with like this, bind param. Wow. And yes, that was exactly the problem. It's incredible. Let's refresh, and let's see what would be the error now. Input question. Yes, it is there. It's there. On line 46. Insert into question. Hmm. Let's just put on here also the simple columns. Refresh, and it's still giving me an error. Let's see if the data that the table is name is another. Oh, it's the same. And it's like that. Insert into questions, question title, and all those things. That's weird. Well, let's just remove the columns just to see. Being honest, doesn't have much sense. But as I said before, this is development. Some things are just unexpected. Let's go refresh and insert into near input questions first. The problem is here. Is here. Let's go to the manual again, and in here we're gonna look for an insert. Okay, insert, and let's see an insert, how they do it. STMT insert, yes, but they don't show it very well. Okay, insert into country languages, and here the values is just with the question mark. And I will tell you the truth, we can just leave it with the question mark, but I haven't tried it before because I wanted to try with the most secure way first. And let's see. Let's see now. Gonna be passed by reference argument 3. Okay, now the error is this one. Do you see this one? This argument is not necessary. So let's just remove it. We're gonna remove this. Let's refresh, and now it says the number of element must match of bind variables. Okay. What it's saying is that the number of elements that I am using with the bind param must match the numbers of elements that are here. But I just want to bind one param. And how can we do that? Let's try to look here. The number of variables and length of strings. So the first parameter is a type. A string that contains one or more characters. So the first parameter is not exactly this. It's supposed to be this, okay? This, the type. I'm just reading the documentation, okay? of the intelligence. Now let's read the documentation again. The second parameter is a number of variables that must match the parameters in the statement. In other words, here we can just say that this is going to be, for example, 1, 1, and 1. Now let's go to the and say that the third parameter is an array. That is optional. And being honest, we can leave it just like it is right now. What is this doing? Being honest, I don't like it much because because it is saying clearly that this is connecting with the query, but the bad part is that it is depending and it is kind of not very clear of what is the parameter that is inserting. So that's just my opinion. Let's refresh on here and says argument 2 cannot be passed by reference. Let's go to the documentation and let's see. It says code. What is code in this case? Is this one? Okay. The argument 2 is supposed to be, for example, input question. And it says that it cannot be passed by reference. In other words, we're supposed to create, for example, um, these variables again. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to save time and I'm going to say that it is going to be like this. Question, and let's just copy and paste twice and put on here this, and let's place this and this, and now let's go to and here we're gonna change verse, and this is going to be paragraph, and that's it. Now this, just to finish, let's change it to what is down. Why we're gonna put what is down? Actually, that is not a good order, but apparently PHP understands it in that way, and I will explain you why. Look what this is doing. Now it has more sense. What this is doing is that this is saying question is going to be what I am going to bind, which is what I'm going to unite to the statement. And after that, that is what I'm going to execute. Okay? The verse is also the same, but I am going to put it just right here. And the paragraph is the same, but I'm going to assign the value just down below here because here, sorry, I was about to speak Spanish. Here is where I execute the statement, okay? Not above. I execute the statement below. That's why I can assign the bind variable before it is executed to the bind param. Okay, let's refresh and let's see. And in this case, let's see. Yes, yes, it is working. But apparently, we have to put the number of elements. But as I said, I don't want to. You would say, but right now you are a rebel. No, I am not rebel. I know what I say. Okay, let's see. This is STMT, bind param. How to um, use bind param to more than to, let's see, in divided variables. And let's see. Um, as you can see, I will tell you the truth. We can do this, but trust me when I say I have taken courses and I took a very, very good course completely. I completed it and it was very good. And one of the things that I learned was that the bind param was good to make it separate. But I don't understand why it's so difficult to find um, that way on a normal code on internet. Maybe it's because usually people go for what is easy. Being honest, that is kind of always the truth. um, but well, as it is so persistent in this, okay, I don't like it. Trust me, I don't like it. I like things when they are secure. I don't like things when they are not secure. Let's see, PHP. Mhm, mhm, mhm. I'm Param. Mhm. Let's see. Um, let's just write down just to finish. I will teach you how to use bind param more than once. Just like that. This is our last try. Trust me, last try. And let's look here. Mhm, mhm. No, this one is not. This one is neither. Add parameter. You see? Begin procedure. Add parameter. Add parameter. Add parameter. Call procedure. This is exactly more or less what I would like to. But this is class oriented, which is going to be kind of complicated right now to us. Being honest to me, no, but how can I say? It's not exactly what we're doing. And look how interesting this is. This is class oriented and is exactly doing what I told you. You see, it is using the bind param separately. Why in class oriented is using um, bind param, o sea, add param separately, and when it's not class oriented, it's not because wa- sadly, on the simplest way, they are making it weak. But um, as I said before, that was our last try. What we're going to do is that we're going to assign to our own self here in my tasks. I'm going to say that the next tutorial is going to be to make it on object oriented, object orientation. And that's it. By the way, I think that it was even in our tasks, but remember that I am working a lot in certain way, so I can't know everything. Sometimes when you work with someone, um, that person can give you the idea faster, but this is not the case in this situation, sadly. So what I'm going to do is just to put SSS in here, and just see, for example, these three variables is just to put the variables that are here up here. We put a comma and we put a comma again. We can erase this here and also erase this as well. And we put a comma here and we put semicolons. That's it. Let's refresh and data insert. See you in the next video, and sorry because of the time. As I told you before, sometimes when you're working alone, sadly, you take more time than expected because there's no one in certain way telling to you an advice. Because, for example, if I would have been working with someone, that person would have said, Reynald, but remember that this is not object oriented in certain way. Let's just insert the data. And being honest, I would have saved maybe 30 minutes of my life or an hour. But I will tell you the truth. Sometimes in life you will be alone. And when you are alone, also you have to learn to stretch your mind in a way that you learn to give the advices to your own self. That's why I have even a book where I express myself, and in that way I can conduct myself. Well, I guess that now many of you who know even my books will understand me even better. But if you didn't want to understand, sorry for those who didn't have the patience. See you in the next occasion, and remember that Jesus Christ loves you much more than what I could ever say.